Now, most people have heard of the 4% rule. Now, if you haven't, the 4% rule is this supposed magic number that you can withdraw from your retirement accounts to weather the market volatility and to make sure that you don't run out of money. For example, if you begin your retirement with $1 million in your retirement account, you should, in theory, be able to withdraw $40,000 per year as income and not have danger of running out of money. This is called a systematic withdrawal plan, and I gotta tell you, it doesn't come with any guarantees. In fact, experts are now saying that 2.75% is more likely the safe number in today's environment than the old 4% rule that should be thrown out the window. Just think about that for a second. Who wants to save and work and delay gratification to save $1 million only to be able to access $27,500 per year of income during retirement? It's a losing game, and it's a game that you don't have to play. Hey, what's going on, cash flow hackers? It's Chris with Life 180, and for this video, I want to talk to you about the 7 risks impacting your retirement income potentially. All right, so here's the deal. With all the uncertainty in the markets and the economy, I thought I'd spend some time putting together some content focused on helping to give clarity to those who are closer to retirement. Now, I know that I do a lot of videos for people looking to build their wealth, but considering the market volatility we're living in, I found it appropriate to create some value for the people who are actually nearing retirement, who want to ensure that their standard of living doesn't take a dive when the markets do. To start this series, I thought it'd be good to begin with the top 7 risks that people face in retirement. If you want to learn more about this and how to create financial freedom in 10 years or less, make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you get notified. So let's get into this. Risk number 1 is longevity and health risk. Now, I put this as number 1 because it's actually the greatest risk of all because of the fact that it compounds almost all of the other risks. Did you know that a 70-year-old couple has a 50% chance that at least one of the pair is going to live to 88 years old, and that they have a 25% chance that one of them is going to live until they're 97? To make it worse, they have a 10% chance of making it to 103 years old. I don't know about you, but in my mind, that just made my head explode when I heard that statistics. That equates to most people having to prepare for 30 years of income during retirement. And when you hear about the other risks, you're gonna see why this is such a big deal. So that gets us to risk number 2, which is inflation risk. Now, I thought it fitting to put inflation risk as a second risk considering our current inflationary environment. While inflation isn't something that we've had to deal with for quite some time, it is rearing its ugly head now, and I think it's gonna be here for quite some time to come. If you're nearing retirement anytime soon, you're gonna have to reconsider how inflation will impact the purchasing power of your retirement accounts and how much income you will need to maintain your standard of living while you're in retirement. This is also a screaming reminder that you just can't get too comfortable. So, risk number 3. Principal risk. This is a massive risk that is often not talked about nearly enough or strongly enough. Principal risk is simply the risk of actually losing the value of your money. Now, the normal philosophy for retirement portfolio allocation is to put a much higher portion of your assets into fixed assets, which is supposed to reduce risk. However, the past 15 years have crushed the safe money market and forced people in retirement to take on too much exposure to risk because they can't earn high enough returns to meet their needs in the fixed market. And this leads me to risk number 4, which is withdrawal rate risk. Now, most people have heard of the 4% rule. Now, if you haven't, the 4% rule is this supposed magic number that you can withdraw from your retirement accounts to weather the market volatility and to make sure that you don't run out of money. For example, if you begin your retirement with $1 million in your retirement account, you should, in theory, be able to withdraw $40,000 per year as income and not have danger of running out of money. This is called a systematic withdrawal plan, and I gotta tell you, it doesn't come with any guarantees. In fact, experts are now saying that 2.75% is more likely the safe number in today's environment than the old 4% rule that should be thrown out the window. Just think about that for a second. Who wants to save and work and delay gratification to save $1 million only to be able to access $27,500 per year of income during retirement? It's a losing game, and it's a game that you don't have to play. So that leads us to risk number 5, which is comprehension and complexity. So author Barry Dyke, who is an amazing author and somebody that I've interviewed on this channel, he's an amazing researcher in the financial space, In his book, Guaranteed Income, he states that by making investment choices very complex, asset managers create a dysfunctional codependency between their financial institution and the retirement plan participant. That's a simple way of saying they're just trying to confuse people, and by confusing people, they're creating them to be codependent dependents on the financial system that really doesn't have their best interest at heart. Now, 401k plans are often filled with dozens of complicated options. The reality is, most people are incapable of spending the time required to comprehend the complexities of 401ks, of mutual funds, or most other investments money managers are putting them in. If you don't understand what you're doing with your money, how can you truly take control and make the right decision for yourself? Now, I'm a massive believer that nobody should care more about your financial success than you, and I mean nobody. With that in mind, you have the responsibility to get to know this money stuff for you and your family's sake. That leads me to risk number 6, which is interest rate risk. Now, given today's environment with mortgages going up and the Fed funds rate going up, people are kind of wondering what's going on. Where do we put most of the safe money? When I talked about we put money into safe money, where do we put it to protect people during retirement? Bonds, you got it. You might already know this, but in case you don't, we've been living in the lowest long-term interest rate environment that we have ever seen in this country. At the time I'm filming this video, we're seeing what happens when interest rates rise, which is something that we really haven't needed to seriously deal with since 1979. Since then, we've been living in a declining interest rate environment. Now they've been flat and they have nowhere to go but up. Now, bond funds are performing at real returns near negative 15% so far this year in 2022. Now, these are the funds that are supposed to be the most stable place to ensure your purchasing power doesn't get eroded from you. If rates continue to stay flat or increase, interest rate risk only becomes more heightened. So that leads us to, last but not least, risk number 7, which is sequence of return risk. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but when you retire matters way more than you may think. What makes it worse is that you don't have any control of the outcome. Imagine you retired in 2006 with the money that you needed to be comfortable for retirement. Then along rolls in the Great Recession in 2008. Tens of thousands of individuals are still working full or part-time jobs today because of the fact they were unable to recover from the losses their portfolios experienced during that downturn. Given that the market is cyclical and typically goes through a significant correction every 8 to 12 years or so, history says that it's not if, but when the next correction will be. Whether you're just beginning retirement right now or you plan to retire in the next 5 to 7 years, I would really think hard about the sequence of return risks that you potentially face. Unfortunately, for this video, this risk requires its own video to explain it in much more complexity because this video would get really long. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel and you hit the bell so you're notified when I release it. I will be releasing that video in the next couple weeks. So that's it. Those are the top 7 risks that could have an impact on your retirement income. What this all comes down to is you. While there is no tried and true way of planning for retirement, it is on you to be really clear about what you want your retirement to look like. If you're close to retirement, you need to protect what you have. And if you're still a good distance away from retirement, you need to make sure that your plan truly encompasses all of your goals. Regardless of where you are, don't feel that you're required to stay within the traditional lines that typical money managers guide you down. Think for yourself. Don't be afraid to think outside the box and take massive accountability for the results in your own life. Feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions about anything. If you have any comments, comment in the comment section below. If you found value in this video, please give that like button a bit. Make sure to share this video and make sure you subscribe, hit the bell that we get notified every time I launch a new video. Until next video, have a blessed, inspirational day. We'll talk soon. See ya.